Hey, welcome to this supplementary video tutorial for Become a Published Author Bootcamp. We are going to talk design today. So here I have a few tabs opened up for my favorite photo editing apps. And first, let's talk book cover. So I'm going to show you how to make a text-based book cover that is somewhat like the one that I use for my own book. And I'm going to show you how to do it on PicMonkey, which is really simple to use. And also, I will take you on a tour on Canva just to show you what they have to offer in terms of book cover design and their templates. So let's start with PicMonkey. So when you type in PicMonkey.com, you will see this screen. You don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything. If you do, use the premium plan, I think you can then save your design, which would be nice if you want to go back and edit. But if you're gutsy enough or silly enough like me, and I'm just going to do it, and I typically leave it up on my, on my computer, on my browser for a few days, just so I don't have, if I have any changes during that time. But afterwards, I would just let it go. So that's up to you. But that's that's just how I did it. Of course, you can go and do fancier things with Photoshop and have the file on your computer and stuff. But I'm going to keep it simple now and just show you how I did it for my own book cover. So you click on custom size, and the dimension that I would use is 1410 by 2250 pixels for a Kindle book cover. This is slightly bigger. The dimension is slightly bigger than what Kindle suggests. I like to make things a little bigger so that you have a little bit more pixel to play with without getting it pixelated when you, let's say, if you need to use it for any other purposes. Okay, so you made that image size. Now, what color do you want it to be? So here, I want to show you how to match a color in case you see a color you really like on, anything on your screen, and you want to match that. So I use a Mac, and I can only show you how to use it on a Mac. I bet you can Google it and see how you can do it on a PC. So you go to your application and you click on utilities, and there you can find a digital color meter. Open it up, and anywhere your cursor goes, it will show you what the RGB color is, or all sorts of different ways, all sorts of different fancy way of mixing color on the screen, whatever. Okay, so I'm 225 and 102. Okay, so I go back here. My oops, it wants a hex color. Lovely. Okay, so RGB to hex, and there's something for that. So RGB to hex converter. Is that 210? That's odd. Sorry about that. Let's try again. Oh, 102, okay. There, okay. Okay, so this is my hex color. Let's copy that and plug it in here. Bam. So now I match this orange. So I'm going to show you how to create something like this. So a few basic graphic design guideline is that you want the background to be not too busy, because if it's too busy, then your title is not going to pop and it's just going to be a mush of stuff, especially if you think about how people are going to look at it at different sizes, right? The thumbnail on Amazon, and you want them to be able to see the title or it not being like just a big blob of color. Typically, you want to stay with typeface as in that's the font, that is easy to read. I would play with one display font, which is, the bigger title stuff, and one or two regular fonts, as you can see here. If you want to keep it safe, I would limit it really to two, no more than three typefaces, to keep it clean and to keep it, really professional looking. So now, without further ado, so click on that T. You can add text. The one thing I like about PicMonkey is that it allows you to use your fonts on your computer. So if you are a typeface hunk like me, I have like all sorts of stuff on my computer. Yes, I have a love affair with typefaces from way back when I learned all these lovely things from a college boyfriend. But I am going to level the playing ground and use the PicMonkey stuff. So let's say I want let's find a good display font that is clean. Oh, they stop categorizing them. Okay. Okay, let's just say I use this one. Okay, so yeah, I think I use my own font for mine. So let's just try it out. So pump it up in size, so you can change the size over the size of the type over there. Okay, maybe I do that. Well, you get the idea, right? And then I can say, and there's like, do you want to center it? Do you want to do any kinds of alignment? And another word about alignment is in my example, I did pretty much two kinds of alignment, like this and this center alignment. So again, I would keep it simple so that it's not too confusing. Yeah, I like that better. So what I would do is, I would do that. Right now you can see me click, but I'm doing a Control-C and Control-V. Because you see there's like a giant gap here. That's called the leading in graphic design, and it's just way too big for my taste, to make it read the way I want it to read. So yeah, something like that. Yeah, obviously it's different, but I'm just going to do it for the hell of it. Okay, let's say I do this. I'm not completely too happy with this font because I feel like it is a little bit too tight together and it may not show up as well in a smaller situation. It does. It's okay. So let's leave it at that and pick another font, probably something that is more I think I'm going to use American typewriter just like I did in my thing, if I can find it. Sorry, as you can see, I got sucked into the whole typeface thing already. Okay, keep it simple. So typically I like to use something a little bit more condensed in these scenarios so that you can pack more in. So I'm just going to use something that's kind of like that, see how that works. So what does it say? Okay, so let's say that's that. I want it to align its center, make it a little smaller, a little bigger. There. Okay, let's say I'm happy with that. And of course I want my name on it. Hello. Okay. Okay, so there you have it. Something similar to what I have for my book cover. So let's say that's it, right? I'm not going to waste time on it right now. So after you have this, making sure everything is in there, then you would save it. And that's pretty simple. Save it as a JPEG, save it to your computer, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. So this is how to use that's it, like solid background color. Pick one color that you like and stick with it. That would be sort of like the brand color for your book, and then choose one or two typefaces that are clear that you like and ideally will be in line with your brand, and go for it. And I want to show you one more thing, talk about one more thing is using pattern to create using a pattern to create what do you call that? To create a book cover. So let me see if I can find any texture or pattern to illustrate the point. So just to keep it simple, they have some stuff here. Yeah, like that. So, you can play around with these, and the key really is to make sure that they're not too distracting. And if see if I can find an example. They actually look pretty good, without being too distracting. But if you find a pattern that is a little bit more busy, but ideally you just won't use it because you really don't want to distract. You really don't want to distract the attention from the title itself. Okay, so that is the part with PicMonkey and your book cover. Simple, right? And then, not this, and then Canva. Let's take a spin on Canva, which is really simple too. So you sign in onto Canva. You know how to sign in on stuff. If you don't, you can get an account on canva.com. Upon signed in, you should be able to see something like this. You click on more. It shows you more. You scroll down, and somewhere in here is, ta-da, Kindle cover. And they have all sorts of stuff you can play with. Ta-da! So as you hover over these, the $ means that it is a paid. You need to pay for it, and there are ones that are free. It says free, so pretty self-explanatory. Let's say I pick one just to play around with. Okay, so can't get any easier than that. Book cover, book title, right? And then you can highlight this and change the typeface. And again, the typeface is really self-explanatory. It doesn't get any easier than this. Ta-da, right? And you can move these around if you want to. So you can add elements if you want to. Bam, right? Icons. I don't know why you want to add an icon, but you absolutely can. So you can play around with it and do something interesting with it. I can just see someone pile on all these icons, change the color, and make a book cover out of it if that suits the brand and the title, right? So yeah, and you can even delete the picture, right, and put your own picture in it. So yeah, like you can upload your own images and then stick it in there. Like this is an image from a long time ago, so I just drag it in there. So there's a lot to play around with on Canva and a lot of flexibility. And you absolutely, can start with one of these templates so that you're not starting from nowhere. The same, obviously, the same good principles of graphic design applies. So don't get too busy. Really pay attention to the background color. Make sure it's legible on all sizes, and limit your typeface to 2, at most 3, so that it doesn't feel like you're all over the place. All right, thank you for watching this, and